Are you going to talk about this?
Eric is. Yes. We have, like the mayor said, we have bombarded the information on surplus city property, and I think this is our third meeting we discussed it. And we're going to have future meetings where we discuss it also, if the board approves it.
Good evening, everyone. As Mr. Goodman said, we've discussed this several times in the past. This is the proposed advertising of a public hearing and a public meeting, or even a series if you want. But I think it can be accomplished in probably one public meeting to have the public come in, view the properties that we're proposing to dispose of, receive information packets on any individual ones that they're interested in, and have an opportunity to voice any concerns for or against, which we would document. And that would be another place for them to come other than just the public hearing for you to voice their concerns. This is a short list. These are properties that do not necessarily need any type of survey work done ahead of time. They're pretty cut and dried type properties for us to dispose of. There are others that do need to be done that'll require survey work.
I know the first two. Are the rest houses?
The rest of them are mostly vacant land, yes. Actually, all the rest of them are vacant land. And I can address any particular one.
What is it, 605?
605?
No.
Yes, that's enough, the property. True value. The other one, 1011 North Rock Ridge, that's the Rivermont School property. And you'll notice in parentheses it says does not include the ballpark or playground, as we're not recommending disposing of that property. We want to retain that for the neighborhood. North Greenbrier Avenue, there's a couple of properties on Greenbrier Avenue. One of them is a hillside that leads down over the hill toward Hillcrest, and the other two are vacant lots on the other dead end of Greenbrier Avenue. They're just undeveloped and have
They
street.
don't have access.
No, those two have street frontage.
Do they?
Yes. I don't know how in the world we ended up with those. They actually are pretty decent lots, it seems like. Royal Avenue, there's a series of lots there that we refer to them as the old well lots. They have the, I guess, artesianal wells on them or something like that at one time. But that's that property. And then the piece of land adjacent to Circle Drive is basically the hillside from Circle Drive down on the hill as you would go up into Idlewild and wraps back around and joins up. Basically almost to the city limit. But that's the list of them. And we would just like to get a consensus that this all is okay with council and that we move forward with publication and scheduling dates for.
Well, there's two dates we need to discuss with council. The first date is the public hearing should be conducted at our regular scheduled meeting for August, which is August 13th. So you can have a public hearing there. The intent is to receive comment about the possible sale of these properties. You may recall we've had some conversation about the Rivermont School property, minus the ball fields and stuff, and the Nettleton property, that we would consider selling these properties for industrial use. Development, not use, industrial development, which could include industrial use. Now, Rivermont is zoned residential and should only be residential. It's completely surrounded by our neighborhoods, and we shouldn't expose those neighborhoods to any kind of industrial development. It's not appropriate. But we would like to have the opportunity to see if we can find someone that may want to purchase the property. How will we do that? First, we need to have a public hearing with the community. Invite them to come here to this room, and we will have some boards and some information here, and we would hold it similar to a VDOT meeting. Some of y'all have been to VDOT meetings where you come and review stuff, and you can provide comment. The comments that we hope to get from the citizens would be provided to council at your August 13th meeting. We looked at some dates, and we'd like to meet before the 13th, this community meeting. And I know it's a little quick, but I think it'd be appropriate to do it. And we were looking at Monday the 29th of July, or Tuesday the 30th, or the 31st, or the 5th of August, which is before your work session. You're not required to come. We would encourage you to come, but it would be a meeting where staff would invite the citizens to come in and meet with us to talk about the properties and what we would do. How would we dispose or seek possible uses of people who have interest in purchasing the property for development? That would be done through a request for proposal, which we will provide to you at the 13th meeting. I have drafted a couple of them. We'll refine that. And basically what you would do is if the council authorizes the sale of the property and you agree we should issue the request for proposals, we would issue them immediately. Typically they're open-ended because you don't get someone to come in right off the bat. So you don't put a deadline on it. And what it is it's written in such a way that you'll receive public bids for these. And you're looking not only for the money for the possible sale of the property, but more specifically, you're looking at the use of the property. What will the property be used for? That's the first key thing. The second thing is what type of development investment would occur. In other words, would it be apartments, single family, whatever, for the Rivermont School, or in Nettleton, I believe we could look at commercial and or industrial. The other thing that you would look at is the potential for jobs. And then the council, if it receives proposals, would have to evaluate those based on that criteria that will score. And the council then could make a decision, yes, we're willing to sell the property, or no, we're not. And I would recommend that you have a public hearing before you finalize the request for proposals to make sure that the citizens have plenty of opportunity to participate in this process. And nobody can say we're trying to slide it by anybody, because we're not. We're here to make things better for the citizens. And we're trying to hear what the citizens think would be the best way to move forward. And we would encourage as many people as we can get here to be involved, because that's the key to democracy. People be involved. So we would hope people will come. The worst thing we can do is get down the road and people say, well, we never knew about this. Well, you're going to get one or two of those. I can assure you that. But I think this is our third time we've discussed it. We're requesting public hearings, public meetings. I don't think we're trying to hide it. We want to hear from the citizens as to what we need to do in regards to this, because we just can't sit on these properties. We need to put them back on the tax rolls and public use. So one, we can tax them for the benefit of the citizens, and two, we do need housing and we do need commercial industrial development in the city. And we are a landlocked because we are a city, can't annex. So we need to redevelop. This is more of a redevelopment, just like the project with Hope is a redevelopment for residential only. And hopefully council would look at the dates. Once again, the dates we're looking at, I just turned my phone on, my calendar. The 29th is a Monday of July. We'd probably start the meeting at 6 or 6:30. Don't want to do it too late. And probably do it for an hour, hour and a half. And allow people to walk in and hear things and provide comments. So we have dates that we would recommend is either the 29th, 30th, or 31st, or August 5th.
Any of them work for me.
Any date would work for y'all? Well, I'll get with Eric then. We'll figure out the best date and look at advertising. We have to advertise, and we want to contact the paper and Jerry and others to get the word out so that we can get the word out to the citizens, because we do want them to be involved and participate.
Mr. Goodman did a very good job. Anybody has any additional questions or things?
The presentation you did on the 4th, can you get me another copy of that?
Absolutely.
That was the night I wasn't here.
Okay. I believe I actually have one upstairs.
Okay, whatever.
Okay.
Because some of these I'm having a hard time remembering.
Exactly where they're at.
Yeah, what they look like.
Yeah, looking at a lot of numbers, it's a little bit hard.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you, Eric.
The Nettleton property, we do have the option to divide it, like this Rivermont School, we've taken the ballpark and the playground out of it.
Absolutely.
So we could offer that in 2 or 3 different options.
We could, and you may get requests for partial development.
Okay.
You know, someone may come in with a response to our request for proposals with a partial development on it and say, I only need half of it, or
Yeah.
you never know what you'll get.
Okay.
we definitely have those options.
All right,
Thank you.